Hello everyone, today I want to talk to you about the US military's risky move of dropping bunker buster bombs on Iran's largest nuclear facility. In addition, CCTV revealed that during the aircraft carrier's Farsi training, J-15 fighter jets and the Type 055 destroyer both drove away US aircraft and enemy forces. Following the 8th anniversary of the Type 055 large destroyer's launch, CCTV exposed details about how China's aircraft carrier encountered interference from an enemy nation's submarine during Farsi training. The background of the incident is the year 2000, when in 2002 they set out for Farsi operations. On May 3rd of that year, the No. 0 aircraft carrier group entered the Western Pacific to conduct Farsi combat training. Operating in the southern waters of the mid-range area in 2000, from May 3rd to 15th, except for the 13th, there were carrier-based aircraft takeoff and landing drills every day, with the total number exceeding 300 sorties. On May 21, 2000, the fleet returned via the Miyako Strait. According to news reports at the time, during the carrier group's training in 2000, Japanese and American fighter jets approached in succession to monitor them. According to the latest report from CCTV on June 28, in 2000, while the carrier group was on its mission, two foreign carrier groups frequently dispatched carrier-based aircraft in two southeastern directions to track and monitor them at the same time. Facing serious provocations from foreign forces, our carrier-based J-15 fighter jets took off armed with live ammunition. The J-15s tightly tailed the foreign military aircraft, engaging them from 8,000 meters to 2,000 meters, driving the foreign aircraft away. CCTV interviewed Zhang Min, a soldier from a naval carrier-based aviation unit, who said, on the way back, looking out from the cockpit at the vast deep ocean, I realized, this is our battlefield. The CCTV segment concluded, in confronting the enemy, not an inch of land lost, not a drop of sea yielded. To summarize, first, the CCTV report only mentioned foreign forces and did not specify which country. However, the other side has two carrier strike groups that can simultaneously deploy to track China's aircraft carrier. This basically rules out other countries. It can only be the United States. Apart from the US, only the UK, India, and Italy have two aircraft carriers, but it's nearly impossible for them to deploy both at the same time. Since we've never heard of these dual carriers operating in the Western Pacific, the foreign forces mentioned in the incident should refer to the United States. Second, the PLA's carrier-based J-15s took off armed with live ordnance. Being armed means they're ready for combat, a serious warning to the other side. If the J-15s encounter the most common U.S. carrier-based aircraft, the F-18 Super Hornet, during tracking and surveillance, the J-15s can suppress the Super Hornets, as they have a clear advantage in both speed and maneuverability. The J-15 reaches Mach 2.4 times the speed of sound. In comparison, the Super Hornet's top speed is Mach 1.8. Additionally, the J-15 uses a three-wing design, improving low-speed handling and maneuverability at high angles of attack. If the J-15 gets on the tail of a Super Hornet, it poses a significant threat to it. Moreover, the PL-15 missile carried by the J-15 has a range of over 200 kilometers, which far exceeds the range of the U.S. military's current AIM-120 missile. The PL-15 missile was also the one that shot down a Rafale fighter jet during the India-Pakistan air battle. If an American Super Hornet encounters a J-15 on its tail armed with missiles, it would choose to make a rapid escape. On June 28, another report by CCTV News covered the story of the Nanchang ship driving away two foreign vessels while outnumbered 1-2. The report stated that in a certain area of the Western Pacific, the Nanchang ship joined the 00 aircraft carrier group for the first time to carry out a Farsi training mission, which is believed to be a different incident from the aforementioned 2022 Farsi training mission in May. According to the CCTV report, at 6 o'clock in the morning, the battle alarm on the Nanchang ship suddenly sounded. It turned out that two foreign vessels had successively made sharp turns, attempting to cut through the middle of the normally navigating Chinese naval formation as a warning to our side. The foreign vessels did not respond, but instead continued trying to break through the Chinese naval formation. The Nanchang had no choice but to carry out tactical maneuvers to promptly block the foreign vessels' attempt to break through. Su Wenshan, a female soldier on the Nanchang, said, at the time, we kept hearing the commander repeatedly ordering us to turn, so we had to change course frequently, preparing our ships heading to stop the other side from possibly cutting through our formation. We couldn't let them take advantage of any opportunity to slip through the middle of our fleet. Su Wenshan, facing provocation, the Nanchang frequently changed course to block them. The two foreign ships realized there was no opportunity to exploit, so they turned away. This sharp course change by foreign ships, cutting through the Chinese naval formation, doesn't seem like the style of Japanese ships, but is in line with American warships operate. Type 055 destroyer Nanchang powerfully escorted American ships in a 2-on-1 situation. Later, when the details of the enemy submarine harassment during the carrier's Farsi training were made public, it was mainly because this year marks the 8th anniversary of the Type 055 destroyer's launch. Nanchang is the lead ship of China's independently developed Type 055 10,000-ton class destroyers. It was launched in 2017 and its hull number is 101. Now, the Chinese Navy already has 8 Type 055 10,000-ton destroyers. The Type 055 destroyer is a 10,000-ton class giant destroyer independently designed by China. It broke through key technologies like overall design of large vessels, information integration, and final assembly construction. Equipped with new types of air defense, anti-missile, anti-ship, and anti-submarine weapons, it possesses strong information awareness, air defense, and anti-surface strike capabilities. This marks the Navy's destroyer's leap from 3rd to 4th generation. The Type 055 destroyer is the firepower king among the People's Navy destroyer family, with its main firepower coming from its missile systems. The ship is equipped with 112 vertical launch cells, which can be loaded with a mix of different types of missiles, including air defense missiles, anti-ship missiles, anti-submarine missiles, and land attack missiles. This makes it the destroyer in our Navy capable of carrying the largest number of missiles. The 130mm secondary gun, nicknamed the 10,000-round gun, fires 10,000 rounds per minute. The 130mm main gun boasts long range and powerful firepower. Imagine American warships intercepted by the heavily armed Type 055 destroyer. Their common reaction is retreat. The Type 055 Nanchang forcing back 2 U.S. warships demonstrates its deterrent power. Recently, the U.S. deployed B-2 bombers to strike Iranian nuclear facilities, bullying the weak, then showing off military might. Publicizing the Nanchang's 1-against-2 incident and the J-15's interception of U.S. aircraft clearly responds in kind, exposing the U.S. military's trait of bullying the weak and fearing the strong. Regarding the U.S. military's bombing of Iranian nuclear facilities, the more the U.S. talks, the more far-fetched it sounds.
CNN reported on June 27 that General Dan King, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, told senators in a classified briefing that the U.S. didn't use bunker buster bombs on Iran's Isfahan nuclear facility because it's too deep underground.
And even bunker buster bombs might not be effective. Last weekend, the U.S. military deployed 125 fighter jets to attack 3 Iranian nuclear facilities, with B-2 bombers dropping 12 bunker buster bombs on Iran's Fordow and Natanz nuclear facilities. It is estimated that 6 massive 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs were dropped on each facility. But for the other nuclear facility in Isfahan, only Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from a U.S. Ohio-class nuclear submarine were used for the strike. There has always been a question from foreign observers: why didn't the U.S. use B-2 bombers with heavy bunker buster bombs to attack the Isfahan nuclear facility? Hein's explanation is the first to clarify how the U.S. military attempted to target Iran's central Isfahan nuclear facility with bunker buster bombs. A U.S. official said that during a briefing, CIA Director Ratcliffe told lawmakers that, according to U.S. intelligence assessments, most of Iran's enriched nuclear material is located at the Isfahan and Fordow nuclear facilities. U.S. officials believe that Isfahan holds the largest amount of uranium, with its underground facility storing nearly 60% of Iran's enriched uranium reserves. According to reports, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Hein, CIA Director Ratcliffe, U.S. Secretary of Defense Hegzos, and Secretary of State Rubio gave lawmakers a detailed classified briefing. After attending the briefing, Democratic Senator Murphy told CNN that some of Iran's nuclear storage facilities are buried so deep underground that the United States will never be able to reach them. Located in central Iran, Isfahan is the country's largest nuclear research base. This facility began operations in 1984 and currently employs about 3,000 scientists, making it a key hub of Iran's nuclear program. The base includes 3 research reactors, conversion facilities, a fuel production plant, and other important installations. Although it was only hit by a diver missile attack, it remains completely intact. Previously, US President Trump claimed that Iran's nuclear facilities had been completely destroyed, and angrily denounced reports by media outlets like CNN and the New York Times, which stated that the US military strikes had failed to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities, as fake news. However, this secret briefing revealed another fact: the US was simply doing what it could. They knew that the Isfahan nuclear facility stored the most enriched uranium, but its installations are buried deep underground, possibly more than 100 meters deep. Even if they used B-2 bombers with bunker-buster bombs, they still couldn't reach that depth. So, they simply decided not to use bunker busters at all, and instead just launched Tomahawk cruise missiles from submarines to strike, making a show of it and leaving it at that. This is just America's alternative way of facing reality. But Trump's claim that Iran's nuclear facilities have been completely destroyed is just a joke. Trump is the one spreading fake news.